Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasitravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmiham. Krishne Tishtati Vishwametadakilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sri Narayana. Blessings of Sri Chinajay Swamiji. We are continuing Bhagavad Gita. We are in chapter 18. We finished sloka 46. We'll start from sloka 47 today. Hope you can see.
Not yet. We can see.
Okay. Please chant. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha
Shreyan Svadharmo Vigunaha
Paradharmat Swanushthitat
Paradharma Swanushtitat
Swabhavaniyatam Karma
Svabhavaniyatam Karma
Kurvannapnoti kilbisham.
Kurvannapnoti Kilbisham.
Let's chant together.
Shreya Svadharmo
Vigunaha
Vigunaha Paradharma
Paradharmaswanushtitat
Svabhavaniyatam
Svabhavaniyatam
Karma
karma
Kurvannapnoti
Kurvannapnoti kilbisham. Jai Sri Narayana. Vigunaha Swadharmaha Shreyan. Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. Swadharma, one's own dharma. Vigunaha is without qualities. Vigunaha, right? Without qualities. Shreyan is better. Okay. So this is where we need Acharya's blessings to get the proper meaning in the right context, right? Otherwise, we may get different meanings here. Okay, what is dharma? What is this vigunaha? Why is it shreya? Why is it better? Okay, so one's own dharma, even without qualities, is better. We'll look at the literal meaning and then later we'll interpret it. Okay. Paradharmat swanushthitat. Then well practiced. Okay, even it is better. The Swadharma, even without qualities, is better than well practiced Paradharma, others dharma. Okay, so Sadharma is better than other dharma. Okay, literal meaning is like that. Okay, Swabhava niyatam karma kurvan. Swabhava is one's own nature. Swabhava niyatam karma, the work that is appointed or determined by one's own nature. Kurvan, one who performs, right? So one who performs the work or duties appointed by one's own nature. Kilbisham na apnoti. Kilbisham comes many times in Bhagavad Gita. Sins, right? Sin. Na apnoti, does not attain. So one who performs work based on or that is determined by one's own nature does not that person does not attain sin. Okay, so some interpretations may have come. Oh, Svadharma means our religion. Paradharma means other religion, right? That kind of interpretations people may take. No, it is not dharma here doesn't mean religion. Or somebody may take, oh, Swadharma means, our Vritti Dharma, you know, uh, and that is better than other duties. So I am better, or my duties are better. So it is not like that, right? So or whoever is saying that, oh, my duties are better, and then somebody may say, oh, okay, let me go and do those duties, leaving my duties. No, Lord Krishna is saying one's own dharma. That here, based on the context of previous lokas, Lord Krishna is talking about karma yoga here. Okay, so we cannot go back and review all the slokas, but if you see the previous slokas, we were talking about karma yoga and what is karma yoga, performing one's own duties, right? As fill up the blank.
Service to God.
A service to God, very good. Yeah. Without having expectations, as nishkama karma, right? So, um, as phala sangha kartrutva tyaga, right? Okay. Mm, and giving up the activities purely based on desires, and doing our own duties, whatever are assigned to us. Now, Lord Krishna talked about the duties of the four classes of the society or four groups of society based on their nature, not because one is greater than the other, one is better than the other. It's just that people are born with certain tendencies. They have certain inherent nature, right? They have their own nature that is based on the previous gunas, right? Gunas that they are carrying from previous births. So they have certain tendencies, there are inclinations towards certain gunas. Based on those gunas, the duties are assigned so that it becomes easy for that person, right? Because all duties need to be done in the society. Somebody would have to, say, in order to grow a crop, right? There are certain duties that we need to do in order to finally get the crop and for the food for us to eat. So if everybody says I will do only one type of activity, then no one gets food, right? So based on our natural inclinations towards certain type of activities, Lord Krishna broadly categorized, or our scriptures have broadly categorized into those four groups of uh, activities and assigned a name or a group name for that. That is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Right? It's not that they're Brahmana is higher class, Sudra is a lower class. No, it is basically different based on their inherent nature. Each of them will do certain types of activities. And in order to make it very clear that you don't have to do somebody else's activity in order to get the result that you want, right? So finally, the result that we need is, what is the result that we need from this life?
Liberation.
Yes, want to get out of this cycle of birth cycles, right? Cycle of samsara. So this is an instrument that is given to us. Everybody is eligible for it. Everybody, they can use their life properly as given in Bhagavad Gita, and they can attain the liberation from this cycle, right? They don't have to come back and take birth again in any form on with the nature, the prakriti that we are talking about. So each one of them have certain duties that are assigned to them. That duty needs to be performed as karma yoga, that is the Svadharma. Okay, so Svadharma, that is karma yoga, is better than Paradharma. What is the Paradharma which is not karma yoga?
Doing activities for our desires, for our materialistic purpose.
For example, doing things that are not instinctive to us, against our instincts, the inner instincts.
So what is that? Um, when we want liberation, right? So one is karma yoga. The other yoga, other
Jnana yoga.
dharma,
Jnana yoga.
yeah. So typically when we say karma yoga, you put karma yoga and jnana yoga side by side. Which one do you think is more closer towards to get us liberation?
Jnana yoga.
Jnana, it appears that way, right?
Right.
Isn't it? Karma yoga is you are asking, oh, wash your dishes every day. Let us say. And the Jnana Yoga part, you are doing the meditation, focusing on God, not doing any other activity. And, oh, I mean, that looks cool, right? And if I have to get liberation, Jnana Yoga looks better. So that's why Arjuna wanted to run away from the, right? He wanted to go and do the meditation. He didn't want to do his duty. So it appears better if you look at it from outside. Karma Yoga appears to be having certain deficiencies compared to Jnana Yoga. So Lord Krishna is saying, uh, even though your own dharma, that is Karma Yoga, it appears to be deficient, appears to have some qualities that you think are present in other dharma, that is Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga is better, right? This is not new in 18th chapter, isn't it?
Chapter 3 explained 4th chapter.
Yeah, a long time, a lot of explanation was given earlier. 18th chapter is like, presenting the same concept again, but in a better way for us to understand or with more explanation, right? So even though it appears to have to be lacking in qualities that are present in other dharma, Swadharma is better. Okay, what is the reason?
When we practice Svadharma, our vasanas will be cleared and new vasanas won't accumulate.
Yes. Yes, so that is true.
But Karma Yoga is better because without doing karma, we can't live anywhere.
It's easy to practice Karma Yoga.
That's what
Yeah.
Comparatively, Jnana Yoga is extremely difficult and it needs a lot of discipline and sense control and all.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So we do not have that skill, right? So we do not inherently have that ability or skill to perform that activity.
Correct. That is true.
Then what happens if we are
99%.
if it is against our nature, it becomes difficult for us to practice. We may be able to practice for a short time, but we cannot sustain it. Like extreme, say somebody says, now for 40 days you should only eat one fruit a day. let us say, once somebody says that, somebody who is eating, whatever he or she wants, and many times a day, you suddenly say you have to eat only one fruit a day for 40 days. Maybe one day they can, with a lot of difficulty, even that they may be able to practice. But after a couple of days, they will eat more than what they were eating earlier. Right. So it is difficult to suddenly, uh, completely change. We are used to certain things. I'm eating 4 times a day. So if you say that, okay, you eat 4 times, maybe 3 times a day, but take a little bit, not too much like what you're doing, then it may be easy for us to practice. And then later on, actually, that's what Lord Krishna is going to talk. I don't want to reveal that. So it becomes easy for us to practice. So that is the Svadharma is better than Paradharma. It is not that one religion is better than other religion, or if I am born in this religion, I have to claim that my religion is better than other religions and look down on them, or I should make sure that other religion people are getting converted into my religion. All that is all. That's not the meaning of this, right? Okay. So one who performs the work determined by one's own nature does not attain sin.
Sin,
Yeah.
vasanas,
So what is the sin here? Like
karmic bondage or accumulation of
yes.
vasanas.
Yeah. So it is not that by practicing other dharma you are going to acquire papa. Papa punya, like say a sin. People may say that it is a bad activity leads us to the sin, right? Isn't it? So it is not that that activity is bad. It's not like hurting somebody, harming somebody, or doing something illegal. That's not the meaning here. So if I am doing other activity, right? I will, you know, um, I have difficulty in practicing it. But if I do my activity, my own dharma, that is karma yoga, which is easy to practice, I do not acquire the karmic bondage, right? And the karmic bondage that I would acquire otherwise. Okay. In fact, practicing karma yoga, we will not get the karmic bondage, and we will also clear the karmic bondage that is not yet assigned to us. Okay. That's not the case with other yogas. I mean, the one who is not eligible to perform. That is the key here.
I mean, acharyas and those type of people,
Yeah.
they're elevated, and for them it's easy.
Yeah. So for them, Jnana Yoga is the Svadharma for them,
Yes.
right? So it is like if a fox trying to put stripes on its body and claim that I'm a lion, right? It doesn't become lion, isn't it? So just because lion is the king of the jungle, I want to become the lion and put the stripes. It doesn't become, and in fact, it will get in trouble because of that.
But Varaprasad, sometimes, of course, all of us probably would have selected in the past without Gita knowledge. That is not our Swadharma, just because, we thought we may make more money or whatever the case may be. So still this Gnana helps, but, that is a constant struggle for many of us. Just as an example, let's say let's say I become a programmer thinking I may make more money, but my actual Swadharma is to do project management. So
Yeah.
that's a real problem.
See, Here, very good example. See, in practical life, right? Same principle. If I'm naturally a programmer or naturally a project manager, yeah, example, but I'm forced to take another because I think that is better because I get more money. This doesn't have money, right? Imagine the daily struggle people go through. Their conscience will not allow. They have difficulties. They'll have problems in dealing with that situation, right? So in that they lose themselves, right? So if I don't have the if I like to become a doctor, right? So I should be able to deal with patients and different situations, right? It's very hard. But just because the doctor, if I become a doctor, I will get more money. I'll become a doctor, and I don't like that. Every day, what would be the mental struggle that they would go through, right? Or a soldier, for example, just because people are appreciating, if I become a soldier, I'll be praised by everybody. Everybody says, "Oh, you're doing a great job for the country," and all that. And then we go there, and we're not able to see and do things, right? If somebody is very sensitive, what happens? They get all kinds of disorders, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stress disorders, and they will not be able to survive with all that. So they're acquiring, like it's not. I mean, as I said, right? Sin is it's not that papam, the sin that is typically that we understand as the one who is hurting, doing some bad activity. They are not doing that, but because they are doing something against their own nature, just because they thought that it is giving them money, fame, other things, they end up in trouble. I- Instead, you do your activity, whatever you are naturally inclined to do. Okay, don't worry about the lack of money. Okay, don't worry about you're not going to be treated like say doctor or a soldier example that we have taken, right? So we don't have to worry about that. We'll attain our goal, which is reaching coming out of this cycle. Okay, in fact, our goal is not to do a particular type of activity in this life. That's unfortunately that's what we think. I'm born to do this activity, right? Or my life ambition is to become like this. That should not be our life ambition. A lot of people, even though they might have liked that activity and did it for 30 years, 40 years, at the end of it, when they come to retirement, they'll come look back and think, oh, how foolish I was, thinking this is the greatest thing in the world. That is not the goal for life. The goal for life is to not to get another life like this, to come out of this cycle,
I mean,
right?
to me, the spiritual path and satsang helps to compensate of what you are struggling in your day-to-day job. For
Yes,
example, let's say if you want to be always like a volunteer, just as an example, if that is your vasana, you can't do it in your job. So it's a good idea to come to ashram and do it.
yes,
If you think you are a project manager, come and do the project management in the satsang,
right.
that
So I mean, we develop some attachment. See, that is what the problem. So let us say I like this kind of activity, or I hate this kind of activity. Either I am attached or I'm averse to a particular activity. We develop that. But if we have this knowledge, every activity becomes an activity, and that activity is given to us by Paramatma, and we have to do it as service to God. That's it. It doesn't matter what type of activity it is. So we will stop thinking like I am liking this activity, I don't like this activity. That will go away. So if my duty is 8 hours I have to do this duty, or 10 hours I have to do this duty, I will do it without having any disturbances. Earlier I would be thinking, oh, I'm doing this because I have to like it. And if I'm not liking it, I develop negative reaction in my body. Now, if I with the spiritual knowledge, what I do is I'm doing it as my duty, not for me to like it or dislike it. Doesn't mean that we should not liking anything that we are doing. It's go beyond liking and disliking. So it is just a duty. It doesn't matter what duty it is, right? Then second thing is we will not think about how much money that we are earning, right? How much comforts that we would have otherwise got if we are doing something else. That will also go away. So once that goes away, again, whatever activity that we are doing becomes, like peaceful. Otherwise, we will be thinking about the result of those activities. Oh, am I getting money, praise from this activity? I'm not looking for any of those. So just do the activity. And the focus is only on the activity. So the activity becomes better. It will not go down. So the concept that, oh, if I do it without having expectations, just as a duty, maybe I will not be motivated to do it. In fact, will be more motivated to do the activity. In a shorter term, it may appear like, oh, the motivation may be lacking if I don't look for the result or do it without expectations, right? So if I don't have any expectations, or if I don't say, okay, I'm going to get this much money, I'm going to enjoy all that. If I don't have that, people may think, oh, we may not put more effort, right? So that is for a short term, it may appear like that. But as soon as that, whoever is doing it just for the purpose of result, if they don't get the result, it really pains them. They don't want to do it, compared to the one who will continue to do it. It's like that tortoise and hare story, right? Who will win? The tortoise won the race, right?
No,
So,
Prasad, I think, if we don't, I agree that karma yoga, completely. But if you're struggling for your day-to-day life, right, food and all those things, right, then karma yoga is later for me, right? I need to take care of my food first, right? I need to find a way to get the food, right? And again, in more dharmic terms, I'm just saying, right? That's
yes.
important for me, right? That's pretty much karma yoga. I know I would love to do it as
It's
we're
only
looking at
a mental paradigm shift. You don't have to change anything.
no, agree.
Whatever you are doing for a living, you
So
continue.
again, karma yoga does not mean that you do activity that will put you in trouble in
No, I'm
terms
not.
of
What I'm
your.
saying was agree, right? Again, I think, and why I'm making the point about the profession thing, right? We need to be comfortable in profession kind of a thing, right? What a profession we do, and we have to do this karma yoga, right? Doesn't matter. And when someone is young, they want to become a lawyer. That's his passion. But lawyer doesn't have jobs, right? We need to tell him that, oh, it doesn't make sense for you, even though it's a passion, okay? Even though it's like karma yoga, he won't make any money in that. He's going to struggle in the life, right? So it's important for us to educate those kids. I'm just giving an example,
Yes.
right? Okay. It's his
Yeah.
passion, I agree. But that's what he likes to do it. And he might be good at that, public speaking. At the same time, right? I mean, I think there are no jobs in that, and you should not tell, oh, okay, that's a good, go and do it, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
My experience, what happens, Bhadranath Garu, we may go in that is correct. What you said is 100% correct. But it is proven that eventually he or she will come back essentially to his own nature. I tell you my own experience.
Agreed, right? And
That's the
again, I
direction
think,
in which I went. See, by my nature is, for example, I like teaching. That's natural to me. So I did corporate jobs, I did everything, but ultimately, in some form or fashion, that person will come back to his own vasana.
I
It
mean,
may
I
take
don't
longer
think
time or
again,
shorter
different
time.
examples,
For
right?
example, in this case, let's say, we push him to be a programmer or whatever, AI, the latest
Right.
and greatest thing. He will take it. He will do it for a living and all of that. But nature will lead him back to his Svadharma at some point, most of us. So we don't know in what form he will do it. Maybe he will, for example, let's say he may join Jirashram and become a legal person in
And
the
again, I
satsang.
think what I'm trying to say was, I think it's important for us to make this thing as well, a living for the living. Anyway,
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. But that is where the satsang helps us to fulfill our vasanas, which we cannot in the
in the
commercial world.
day-to-day life.
Yeah. For example, if you see in the ashram, some people want to be a treasurer. I don't want to be a treasurer, honestly. I want to teach yoga. Similarly, Varaprasad ji is about, spirituality, teaching Gita and all these things. So like that, we will end up fulfilling our natural vasanas in some form or the other.
Again, I don't want people to take it in this one as a different way, because I think because you need to, right? Interpretation kind of want to make sure.
So
That's the reason.
understand. So basically, we have to do the activity for our survival, right?
Yeah.
To fulfill our responsibilities to ourselves, to our family, and the society, right?
Right.
And we should not do a certain activity just because we like that activity. That is like running away from our duties.
Right.
So if I say Arjuna's example only, right? At that moment, he has to do certain duty, but he didn't like it.
Right.
He wanted to do something else. Should he do that? No. You have to take care of your duty first.
Right.
So if I like a particular profession, and that profession I know is not going to let me fulfill my duties as a human being, I have to take care of my body as a family person, I have to take care of my family. Thinking of a particular an activity that will give me pleasure, mental pleasure, is running away from my duties. You do
And
your
what?
duties. On top of it, if you do that, that is great. As Balaji Garu also mentioning, right? So, and you also mentioned so we should not be doing just because I like that activity. I don't care about my other duties. I want to do it. No, as long as we are able to take care of all the duties that are assigned to me, I can do the other activities. And here, I mean, in the context here is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra is given, and these are all natural tendencies. But that is lost now. That's no longer, the
This
entire.
is what they say. And Arjuna, for example, let's say he wants to go and practice, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, and be a saint. Right? So what they say is, even if he does that, his Swadharma will bring him back to his Kshatriya Vasana, will not let him rest there.
Exactly, that's true also. So they will not be able to do that other activity, which they thought is better.
Yeah.
Right? They will again come back and
Come back. The inner
I mean,
instinct.
if it is feasible to come back,
Exactly.
but sometimes it may not be feasible. They'll be in trouble forever.
And what is interesting is it's like we think, for example, let's say after practicing 10 years, 15 years, my Vasana has changed. No. So the only thing is you are using it in a productive way, right? For example, let's say instead of you are doing it as a karma yoga. And the other thing also, the simple thought that I am doing this for Bhagavan is a paradigm shifting. That uplifts us.
That's important. I'm trying to say, right?
It uplifts.
That's important in what profession we're doing.
Exactly. Under any even worst possible circumstances, it uplifts us right away. See, even in
Yes.
my job, I don't like 20% of it, right? Certain things. I always tell people in any job, 70-30. Invariably, there will be 30% component which comes as a baggage, and you have to do it. And when you really say, I'm doing it for Bhagavan, the whole paradigm shift happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah, and that's what the paradigm shift. Like I was 2.5 years back when we started the satsang with the paradigm shift.
Right.
Right. That's we have 2 sessions on it. It is total paradigm shift that will transform our life completely. Okay, to make us do things better than what we are doing. That's great, Andy. So here Swadharma is Karma Yoga, and which is based on our nature, right? And we practice our Swadharma. Okay. But elevated people may have Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga as their Swadharma. That is not for us, right? I mean, okay. So,
But Prasad, in the third chapter, Bhagavan also said, Sankhya Yoga Pradak Balaha Pravadantina Panditaha. So that is also there, but it's difficult. That's what we are saying. It's almost very rarest of rare for someone to have the Gnana Yoga status, Sankhya Yoga status.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. So for says Sri Swamiji, who at a very young age is able to identify that is his Swadharma, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, supported by Karma Yoga. It's not, is Swamiji is doing a lot of volunteering, I mean, lot of service activities throughout the world, right? So still doing the Karma Yoga only, but they don't have to do it. It is for our sake they are doing it. Again, as given in Bhagavad Gita, even Lord Krishna said, I am doing my own Karma Yoga, even though it is not necessary for me. Right? So for all of us, it is Karma Yoga. And for when we are practicing Karma Yoga, we will elevate ourselves. For some people, it is not to elevate, it is to set example for others. Right? Or to lead the society. It is not to elevate them because they are already elevated. That differentiation we would move on to the next sloka. Sloka 48. Please chant. Sahajam karma kaunteya
Sahajam
सहजं
karma
कर्म
kaunteya
कौन्तेय
sadoshamapi na tyajet
sadoshamapi
सदोषमपि न
natyaje
त्यजेत्
sarvarambha hi doshena
सर्वारम्भा
sarvarambha hi
हि
doshena
दोषेण
धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः
dhumena
धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः
Let's chant together.
Sahajam
Sahajam
सहजं कर्म
karma
kaunteya
कौन्तेय
kaunteya
sadoshamapi
sadoshamapi na
सदोषमपि न
tyajet
त्यजेत्
sarvarambha
सर्वारम्भा हि
hi
दोषेण
doshena
doshena
धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः
धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः. Okay. Lord Krishna is saying, Hey Kaunteya, O Arjuna, Sahajam karma, work that which is born from one's own nature. Sahajam karma, right? Very easy to understand. Sadosham api, even filled with faults or pains. Dosham is fault, but here it is pain, filled with pains. Natyajayet, should not be given up. So the karma, the sahajam karma, one's own nature, the work that is born out of one's own nature, or the work that is suitable for one's own nature, even though it is filled with pains, See, here karma means not programming, project management, or a lawyer, or a doctor. It is karma yoga. Okay. Sahajam karma is the karma yoga that is suitable, that is based on my own nature. Um, Sadoshamapi, even though it is filled with pains. So Arjuna, if he has to fight in the war. It is filled with pain. He'll get hurt. He will not be able to see others hurt. Right? So even though it is filled with pains, should not be given up. Okay? Sarvarambha doshena avrutahi. Sarvarambha. All works that are started. Okay? Or in short, everything, any work that you take, anything that you do. Doshena avrutaha. They're covered with pains. Avrutaha, covered, doshena, by the pains. Right? Dhumena agnihi iva. Like, iva is like, fire is covered by smoke. Right? Fire is always covered by smoke. Any fire. Okay? So, thinking that this type of thing I want to do, that type of thing I want to do, running away from my duties, giving up duties, and doing something else. The duty is karma yoga, doing the activity that is based on my nature as karma yoga. That is my sahajam karma, or the duty that is assigned to me for this particular life. Leaving that and doing something else, thinking that that is having less pains. No, that is misconception. Every activity that we do is filled with pains. So even if Arjuna had left the battlefield and went to do something else, it would have still troubled, right? So don't run away from your duties. Don't run away from your naturally assigned duty and performing that as karma yoga. Okay. Instead of doing that, doing something else, thinking that that is better, you are mistaken. All are filled with pains only. Okay.
So basically, what Prasad Garu, the inner meaning of this is, let us say my own nature is to do project management or programming. I may not be the best programmer in the world, but still I should stick to that because that is my instinct, inner instinct.
So here it is, one type of activity compared to other type of activities is just an activity only. Okay. See, we are doing the service, right? Service type of activity there.
Yes.
What kind of service we are doing is slightly, I'm not talking about the service to Paramatma, not that. Like whatever is consulting work or service work only, isn't it? Software development as a whole, software industry as a whole is different from a farmland, different from becoming a soldier, different from, so there is a lot of difference between those duties. But within the software development, if you take, they're all minor differences. They're all services only. It is again, based on our whatever we think, it's suitable for us, we can do it.
Right.
Again, to make sure that we don't run into some issues like we'll not have job anymore, right? Just because I like it, doing it, and will not have job, then that is not advised. But do the duty, whatever you think you can make the best use of, right? So it is not that we have to run away from money. Also, we can earn as much money as we can. That's not a problem. But don't run after the money. So if I'm I can be good in a programmer, I can be good in project manager. One is giving, say project manager, I get a better salary. No problem in taking project management, not an issue. But if I'm taking project management and I'm not going to like it, or I may lose the job, then better to take project management, even though it is slightly lower salary. Right? So this here we are talking about the broader context, like the karma yoga itself. Like, doing any activity as karma yoga is better compared to leaving the karma yoga and doing something else. Okay. So that is we can locally or in practical terms, yes, we can apply in the same concept, but we should not overdo it, right? Because they're all similar at the end of the day. And if I'm overdoing it, that means I'm doing it for the sake of my liking. That's not be the case, right?
Right.
So everyone who takes birth is not free from all the three gunas, right? So in summary, so we are not free from the effects of those gunas on us. And we always take up something, do something under the influence of those three gunas. We all learned this, I'm just summarizing. So gunas are the cause, are the agents for us to do something. So karma yoga. So when we are under the influence of the gunas and we are forced or we take up certain activities, do that as karma yoga so that we will not be attached to the gunas. That's all. So if I'm doing it because I'm influenced by the guna, and now I develop the attachment to that activity, is going away from karma yoga. So don't get attached to that activity. Identify that the agent of the action is the guna that we are carrying. We don't have to dislike the guna because we will have one guna or the other. There's no. So as long as we are making the best use of this life for the benefit of benefit of the society as a whole, right? And doing any activity that we choose as service to God will release us from the karmic bondage. Instead of that, if I leave the Svadharma and do the Paradharma, just because I want to run away from this Svadharma, will acquire me sin because I'm supposed to. Will acquire me sin means what? Like I have to, do certain activity, right, in order to burn that karmic bondage, right? Now, if I'm not doing that activity and doing something else, that karmic bondage will not go away. It will continue to be with me. And because I'm not doing that activity which is associated, is assigned to me, I'll acquire even more karmic bondage, even though I may do something else. And because I'm doing something else, because I like it, I am getting attached to that activity, or I'm getting attached to the results of those activity, I acquire karmic bondage in turn. So, See how much the karmic bondage is multiplying. If I'm not doing my activity, my karmic bondage will continue. I get penalty on top of it. If I don't pay taxes, taxes are not going to go away. Again, I have to pay a penalty. And I do something else, the taxes will be doubled. Right? So the total amount of taxes will go in exponentially very high. That's what, so that's why Lord Krishna is saying here, Svadharmam, even though it appears like to have pains, do it, should not be given up, because whatever you do will always be painful. Okay? But if you do your Svadharma, you can get rid of the karmic bondage, like previous sloka. You will not get the sins.
Professor garu, I think Shauryam, sorry, Kshatriya. Kshatriya, when he's born, will he have more rajas kind of a thing? Or doesn't
Yeah,
matter?
they're under the
If
influence of
Sattvic
rajas.
rajas, right? I mean, but that person can still, Arjuna, right? Arjuna, I mean, if he's a Kshatriya, that means he is more rajasic, like rajasic kind of a thing, but he can turn that towards Sattvic.
Yeah. So the activity is rajasic,
Right.
activity is derived based on the rajasic dominant guna in that person, right? Now, when I'm doing the activity, I can do it as sattvic activity, right?
Yeah.
So even that activity of participating in the battle, right? That activity, if I'm doing it as Paramatma's activities for the sake of for his enjoyment and as service to God, uh, thinking that this is not my activity, I'm not the doer, Paramatma is the one, right? We learned all that.
Those principles, yeah.
So that becomes sattvic. So if I'm doing that activity because I because of the raga and dvesha, right? Then I'm acquiring more karmic bondage because of that. Raga dvesha is so Arjuna is assigned the duty of fighting in the battle, right? It is not because of his out of his raga and dvesha. Okay, but if you ask Arjuna, oh, do you want to be a kshatriya, taking care of protecting people, taking care of people, um, or do you want to become a teacher?
Right.
What will they like? What will he like?
I think in chapter 1, he
Obviously, you'll take the.
Sorry. No. I mean, he's Kshatriya, but in chapter 1, if he was, I think, when he was doing that, he might have liked the teacher kind of a thing, but though he's Kshatriya, because he thought that will be the quickest path, right?
So when
he got the
he is
knowledge.
faced with the problem,
Yeah.
he want to run away, not because he liked that.
Right.
He could have done it. He could have done the activity, but it would have troubled him there also.
Right. I don't
Right.
think it was not
So
there.
his natural inclination is towards becoming kshatriya, right? To protect people, to take care of good in the society, or protect good in the society, punish bad in the society. He could not see injustice, right? Not because he has some desires to become a king or rule. He likes that power.
Yeah. He's not.
No, right?
No, you're right.
So if he was doing that, like the other one is Duryodhana, was
He has all those qualities, right? Yeah.
right. So he was doing it, out of ego, out of the attachment to the power,
Right.
right? And with the dvesha, raga and dvesha, right? He was hating Pandavas, and whoever likes Pandavas he was hating. He would love himself and all that. So that is out of ego, out of the raga and dvesha. He is also a kshatriya, born kshatriya. He also takes up the activities of a kshatriya, but he's driven by he's doing those activities as rajasic,
Dusha, Kama, Krodha, all these things, yeah.
right? So he would acquire more sin. But Arjuna, even though he's doing the activity because the rajasic dominant, he's going to become sattvic only. It is not that his rajasic quality will increase.
Yeah. So he's doing the Karma Yoga, he's following those principles, he's doing that.
Yeah. So activity appears to be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic.
Yeah. And the person.
You can do any activity as sattvic.
Yeah.
You can become a sattvic worker.
That was my question, actually. Yeah.
This is very confusing, right? Like even if I didn't have, we were not going through, then we would think, oh, if I am sattvic, whatever I do, I will be sattvic only. No,
Right. Other way around.
I could do the sattvic activity as a rajasic or tamasic
Right.
and may go down,
Yeah.
right? I can do a rajasic, an activity that is based on the rajasic dominant guna. I can do it as a sattvic worker, as a sattvic activity, right? And same as tamasic. So that's why it doesn't matter categorizing this class of people is sattvic dominant people, this class of people rajasic dominant. It is not like downgrading anybody.
Right.
It's not that. It is how the activity looks like to outside person. Like obviously someone who is who likes to work with people. Recently, I was talking to somebody. They said, "Oh, I can never work in an office sitting in front of a computer. Right? I want to work outside. I want to be with people." Okay. So when somebody is outside working with people and organizing and that kind of activities, it appears, oh, that's a rajasic activity. And the one who is working in an office appears sattvic, or it is based on the sattvic dominant quality in that person. It appears, right? You can do this. The person who is working in office could be rajasic. The person who is working outside can do it as sattvic,
Okay.
right? So how we do the activity matters, not the activity which is based on a particular guna that we are carrying.
Right.
It really doesn't matter.
Right.
So if it was that the case, like, oh, if you are born as a say kshatriya or vaishya, some and the activities that they are doing are related to rajasic activities, let us say. Lord Krishna didn't say they will never attain liberation, isn't it? So any of these categories of people, any of the activities that anybody is doing can be done as sattvic,
Yeah.
right? As long as we do it as sattvic, then we are on path towards liberation. Or we are becoming more sattvic dominant, and in our next life, our activities will be more, we don't have to struggle in order to become sattvic. Right? For a rajasic or tamasic person, it is a struggle for them to even
next
know the concepts, right? So it is like a initial problem, but it doesn't mean that they cannot change, they cannot learn. It doesn't mean that they will not be able to do any activities as sattvic.
Thank you.
Surely. Move on to the next sloka, 49. Listen. Asakta buddhi sarvatra
Asakta buddhi sarvatra
jitatma vigata spruhaha
Jitatma
jita
vigata spruhaha
spruhaha
naishkarmya siddhim paramam
naishkarmya
naishkarmya siddhim
siddhim paramam
parama
sannyasena
sannyasena adhikachati.
sanyasenadhikachyati
Let's chant together. Asakta
asakta
Buddhi
buddhi
buddhya
sarvatra
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 jitatma
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 vigata
vigata
vigataspruha
spruhaha
naishkarmya
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 siddhim
siddhim
parama
paramam
paramam
sannyasena adhikachati.
sannyasena
sanyasenadhikachyati.
Lord Krishna is continuing. Asakta buddhi sarvatra. Asakta is unattached. Buddhi is intellect. One who has unattached intellect, sarvatra, everywhere. Jitatma, one who has conquered mind. Jitatma came many times. Vigata spruhaha, one who is free from longing or craving. What happens? Naishkarmya siddhim paramam adhigacchati. Adhigacchati means attains. Naishkarmya siddhim paramam. That supreme state of being free from all activity. Okay. Sannyasena, with sannyasa. Ena, wherever it comes, it is the with or by. Typically, right? So sannyasena with sannyasa. So sannyasa is the threefold sannyasa that we learned. What are the three sannyasa?
Satvik, Rajvik, sorry.
Renunciation.
I think
Sannyasa means
renunciation.
renunciation. Giving
Sattva.
up. What we need to give up?
No, sorry. Give up.
We need to give up the fruits of action.
Yeah. Phalasanga kartrutva.
Alasanga kartrut.
Phalasanga kartrutva tyaga is sannyasa.
Sannyasa, right. That's in the 18th
Okay.
chapter.
Yeah. So our tyaga and sannyasa are synonymous, and there are three types of tyagas. There are phalasanga kartrutva tyagas, right? So phala is the result or fruits. Sangha is attachment to the work, and kartrutva is attached. I am the doer, right? I am doing it. So we have to leave the three. We should give up. I am the doer. Give up attachment to the work, and give up attachment to the result, right? So that is with sannyasa. Um, one who is performing Svadharma, Sahajam Karma, previous two slokas. So with that, one who has attained See, asakta buddhi sarvatra, one who is unattached everywhere. Everywhere doesn't mean places, right? Sarvatra, in all activities. One who is not attached, unattached in all activities, or with unattached intellect, I'm doing the activities. That is asakta buddhi sarvatra. Jitatma, one who has conquered the mind. So, conquered mind means what?
The mind that is completely focused on Paramatma.
Yes, focused on Paramatma, focused on, not focused on anything other than Atma or Paramatma, right? So, how do you do that? Like, how do I know that I'm not focused on anything other than Atma or Paramatma?
When you do that karma, every activity do the karma yoga, then obviously, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we do activities. That's what, if I'm doing the Karma Yoga, with that practice, I become unattached intellect person, right? And then uh, I will become the one who has conquered the mind. So conquered mind is not like a place where I can go and say, put a flag on it and then say I conquered, conquered something. What does conquered mind means? One is yes, that's rightly said, that we are totally focused on Atma, Paramatma, and not focused on anything else. But that's also fairly abstract. What else could be, like, if I don't have the mind that is conquered mind, what I will do?
Yeah. Can we say the outcome of what we have done, meaning it doesn't have, we are not benefited out of that. The outcome is like that. And 100% result is achieved, meaning no deviation from mind doesn't get deviated from anything, but fully focused on completing that activity.
Okay. How does it no. Or when will mind be able to focus?
A total detachment. That is
Total
the
detachment.
prerequisite.
Detachment from what?
From the outcome.
From the
From
outcome. Very we are coming near. Yes.
Controlling the senses.
Controlling senses.
Without raga and dvesha.
Third raga and dvesha. So typically what happens is, if our mind is not under control, we get affected by the dvandvas,
Dualities.
right? So dvandvas are all happening through senses. Okay. So I mean, senses are the the gateways for us, right? So there is heat or there's cold, there's honor, dishonor, there's pleasure, pain, all these dvandvas. If my mind is not under control, I get affected by all these that are happening uh, around us, right? Either physically or mentally. Physically is all the comforts, discomforts, temperatures or taste or music or whatever it is, I like, dislike, I do, all that. Or it could be mental, like I'm criticized or I'm praised, right? So honor, dishonor. So if I'm getting affected by them, it goes up and down, up and down. There's no control, right? So the the car, if I'm driving it, it just goes on its own with no control, right? But if I if I'm not affected by what's happening around me, and I keep my mind stable, that is controlled mind. So, okay. So when I'm having controlled mind, of course, I'm not affected by these dvandvas. If I'm affected by the dvandvas, means my mind is not
Can we
controlled.
also say that, by doing that, it is like a painless activity for the individual who is doing it? He doesn't feel any pain by doing that activity.
Yeah. See, there is a difference between physical pain and the pain that we feel, or the pain that we impose on ourselves, right? We need to differentiate between the two. So, for example, there will be heat and cold, and the body will affect naturally.
Mhm.
But we impose on ourselves, and the mind goes out of control, right? So, if some typical example, I'm driving on the road, and there's a lot of traffic on the road. One person gets agitated, starts screaming, starts honking, starts cursing people, and tries to just overtake and do all kinds of things. Their mind is not under control, right? But somebody just yes, the same situation, but I am driving with control, with I'm not getting affected by what's happening around, right? So I don't impose the pain onto myself. The first person imposed the pain of the traffic onto themselves, right? So if yes, the will be delayed. Yes, there could be some difficulty. There'll be pain, but we don't impose it on ourselves. So the mind does not get affected by what is happening around. So body gets affected, feels the pain also, but it will not linger for a long time. The mind will not change the behavior, right? So for example, the traffic is too much, then someone whose mind is not under control may become, road rage. They'll take actions, right? But someone whose mind is under control will not do such activities, right? So even the heat and cold, like it's extremely cold outside and we have to do certain activity. Yes, we'll be feeling the pain, but only during the time. And after that, we don't remember saying, this person made me do it, or this, why did I do that, and all that, right? It will not linger. We just did our duty. We felt the pain, but we're not affected by it. So that is the controlled mind, jitatma, right? Vigata spruha is one who is free from longing, craving. Okay. In sense objects, right? Experiencing the senses. Such a person attains supreme state of being free from all activity of the senses. Okay, they are not affected by the activities of the senses, right?
So one more point here I want to understand is when we are doing that activity, there are certain things that are totally under our responsibility or control, and something that is outside of our control. But as long as we are committed to whatever is under our control, we do it religiously, sincerely. Can we also call that as the mind is under 100% under dedicated approach?
So what happens when things which are not in our control affect us?
So yeah, is that something that we can leave it to, the outcome, because it's not under our control, we accept the outcome of that?
Yeah. So we accept that things will not be in our control, right? So we accept that things, the temperature is not in our control, the weather is not in our control, the traffic is not in our control, or someone else's behavior is not in our control. We accept that, say things may happen, because of others' activities, which is not in our control. So, um, yeah, that is the part of karma yoga. So in karma yoga, we don't attribute the results to our actions, right? We inherently know that there are things that are contributing to those results which are not in our control, right? In positive way and negative way also, right? Sometimes we may not have worked very hard, but we may get the proper result. Okay, sometimes even though we work very hard, we may not get the result that we are expecting. Sometimes may not be related to our work. For example, we have to go out and it starts raining. It's not in our control. So accepting that things will be out of our control, you know, in fact, there's nothing that is in our control. So we have the duty only to work whatever we can, and even the body is also not in our control. Uh, so as long as we are able to do the work, that's why we recognize that it's Paramatma who is giving us the energy. Paramatma is enabling us to perform the activity. It is not because I have a control on my body that I'm able to speak or I'm able to do the activities. So it is all somebody who else is controlling. And in this particular case, control is good. We have comforts. We are able to do the activity that we needed, and many times it may not be in our. Again, no control there also, but it may not be according to our expectations. That's why we should not do any activity with expectations. Yeah. So recognizing that things are not in our control is one of the paradigm shifts. There are three paradigm shifts that we discussed initially. One of them is now things will, nothing is in our control, not even, just moving our body, hand, it's not in our control. Breathing is also not in our control, right? We may think it's in our control, but when there will be situations where we want to breathe, but we will not be able to breathe. So we don't know why, right? So then, or we may want to move the hand, but we may not be able to move the hand. So yeah, recognizing that nothing is in our control is the paradigm shift. It's part of Karma Yoga. So yeah, if we are able to, uh, if we are practicing these principles that were given, right, then we will be able to reach a state of being free from all activity. That means the state of meditation on the Atma. So it is not that we sit idle and then suddenly, okay, I decide, okay, I want to sit and meditate on Atma. It's not going to happen, right? These are all the prerequisites. We have to, we should do our duties as Karma Yoga. We should not give them up. We should, do the Phalasanga Kartrutva Tyaga. And we should have unattached intellect, controlled mind, and free from craving for all the sensory objects, possessions, objects. Then we will be able to achieve a state of meditating on Atma. Okay. Thank you so much. Very good discussion.
Thank you.
Any questions? No? We'll continue next session. Thank you so much. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. जय श्रीमन्नारायण.
Jai Shrimanarayan.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Jai
much.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Shrimanarayan. Thank you.
Jai Shrimanarayan, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Jai Shrimanarayan.